A woman was given a jar containing all the evils in the world, and one single thing was forbidden to her. She could not open it. Curiosity overcame her, and so she did open it, unleashing all the world's evils into the world. But before she slammed the lid shut again, something remained inside the jar: hope. And so that's how hope was born. That's a story most of us were told as children, or at least I hope you were. But where did this famous myth come from? What did the original version look like? And what was the role of hope in it? In this video, we'll explore the original Greek myth of Pandora, the first woman. We'll discuss what she unleashed into the world, and what role hope played in it. This myth is a weird one, and I can promise you, things aren't as they seem. Let's get started. In Hesiod's Theogony, which is the source I'll mainly be working with today, we meet Pandora. She is the daughter of the Titan god Iapetus and the goddess Clymene, who was the daughter of the Titan god Uranus. As such, she is also a Titaness herself. Iapetus had several other children, including Atlas, who was condemned to hold up the sky for the rest of his life, Prometheus, who famously stole fire from the gods and gave it to the humans, Epimetheus, who would be Pandora's future husband, and Meneseus, who was killed by the giant typhoon. Prometheus warned Epimetheus not to accept any gifts from the gods, yet he went against his brother Esevice and accepted an ornate jar from none other than Zeus himself. Now, in some versions of the myth, it's a box instead of a jar, but I'm going with jar today. Anyway, Zeus gave Pandora this jar with one set of instructions. Under no circumstances was she allowed to open it. Of course, curiosity got the better of her, and she did open it. When she did, all the evils in the world flew out of the jar and flew off into the world. These evils included sickness, old age, war, famine, and death. So basically, everything bad that can happen to a person. They roamed the earth, causing misery amongst humanity. Pandora was horrified at what she had done and slammed the lid shut again. Yet before she could even think about what to do next, something came flying out of the jar. Hope. After everything bad had left the jar, only hope remained inside it. Then, after Pandora closed the jar, she looked for the humans, wanting to give them back their stolen hope. Yet when she found them, they didn't want it back. The humans preferred living hopeless lives than having to face the evils that come with hope. So Pandora took the hope back inside the jar and hid it away, leaving the humans without their hope and without knowing that it was actually an option. Later on, Prometheus saw that the humans didn't have hope anymore, and he told them to take it back from Pandora. However, she refused to give it back, saying that it wasn't hers to give. She demanded that Prometheus go and ask Zeus directly. So Prometheus went to Zeus and asked him to restore hope to the humans. Yet Zeus said that it was a punishment sent upon the humans for their foolishness, and that he would undo it. He made Prometheus suffer for the rest of his life because of this. However, another version exists where Zeus restores hope to mankind. But I'll get to that later. I'm sure you all know what the main lesson of this myth is. It's curiosity killed the cat. Don't interfere with things that don't concern you. That's what it boils down to. But let's take a moment to look at the name Pandora. The name itself is a combination of two words. Pan, meaning all, and Dora, meaning gift or a present. So her name literally means all gift. And what a gift she was to mankind. Her curiosity caused all of our problems. Or did it? That depends on your interpretation of the myth. But let's look at hope here. It seems that Pandora's actions were responsible for hope entering the world. After all, it was her jar that held it. Or perhaps it was always there waiting to be released. Either way, Pandora's actions had something to do with its arrival. But why would the gods give the humans hope if their fate was to be miserable and full of pain? To me, It kind of seems like adding insult to injury, doesn't it? And why would they punish Pandora for simply opening the jar? After all, she was only curious. Could it be that the gods knew that hope would enter the world along with all the evils, but they just wanted to see what Pandora would do? I believe that the original meaning of the myth is unnecessarily about being curious and meddling where you shouldn't, but more about the realization that suffering and hope go hand in hand. Suffering and hope are two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. I mean, think about it. Without suffering, what would hope be hopeful for? And without hope, what would suffering drive us to? We need hope to keep going through hard times, and we need suffering to make us appreciate the good times. And the reason the humans didn't want to take the hope back from Pandora was probably because they thought that they didn't deserve it. After all, they were cursed to suffer, weren't they? Why would they want to hope for a better future when they felt they had brought it upon themselves? They couldn't see the bigger picture. Then there's the fact that these humans were probably descendants of the first man and woman, Adam and Eve. Remember them? They ate from the tree of knowledge and were subsequently banished from the Garden of Eden, condemned to live out their lives in misery and pain. Their disobedience brought suffering into the world, yet they still had hope. Pandora's myth is very likely an etiological myth. That means it explains why things are the way they are. It's essentially a creation myth. Let's think about it. All myths have a kernel of truth in them. I believe the author of this myth was trying to explain to his audience why suffering is a part of the human condition, and why we have hope to guide us through tough times. There's a reason why this myth has survived all these years. It resonates with people across cultures and time periods. We all suffer in one way or another. Even if we're lucky enough to live in a time where hunger and war are at our doorstep, we all have to deal with growing older and eventually dying. This myth helped people cope with the pain of existence, and I think that's amazing. The idea that Zeus would condemn Prometheus to suffer forever for trying to help the humans is also interesting to me. I wonder what the original Greek audience thought of it when they heard it. Did they think Zeus was being fair here? Or did they understand that Prometheus's actions had good intentions, but they were doomed to fail because suffering and hope go hand in hand? I mentioned earlier that there was another version of the Pandora myth, where Zeus eventually restored hope to the humans, and I'd like to tell you about it. But before I do, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please show your support. It really helps my channel grow and reach more people. Anyway, in the other version of the myth, the one I'm about to tell you, Epimetheus does not accept the jar from Zeus, but Athena comes down from Olympus and gives it to Pandora instead. So she's the one who receives the jar, not Epimetheus. And then, of course, Pandora opens it and unleashes all the evils into the world. But this time around, only joy remains in the jar when Pandora slams the lid shut. So instead of hope, it's joy that remains behind. And when Pandora goes to give this joy back to the humans, they accept it and all their hardships go away. They live happy ever afters for the rest of their days. I find it interesting that this version leaves out hope entirely and replaces it with joy. This is clearly a much happier ending and more optimistic than the other version. Joy is something everyone wants and deserves, isn't it? But then again, this version leaves out a key element of the myth, the fact that suffering and hope go hand in hand. I think both versions complement each other, and together they form a complete picture of what it means to be human. We all suffer, but we have hope that guides us through. And sometimes we experience joy, but it's often short-lived. So there you have it, the myth of Pandora, the first woman. What do you think of it? How do you think the original Greek audience received it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.